The only way out of a labyrinth of suffering is to forgive. More smiling, less worrying. More compassion, less judgment. More blessed, less stressed. More love, less hate. All I ever wanted was to reach out and touch another human being, not just with my hands but with my heart. Compassion is the basis of morality. For me, I am driven by two main philosophies: know more today about the world than I knew yesterday, and lessen the suffering of others. You'd be surprised how far that gets you. How would your life be different if you stopped making negative, judgmental assumptions about people you encounter? Let today be the day you look for the good in everyone you meet, and respect their journey. It is an absolute human certainty that no one can know his own beauty or perceive a sense of his own worth until it has been reflected back to him in the mirror of another loving, caring human being. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. There is no exercise better for the heart than reaching down and lifting people up. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. Compassion hurts. When you feel connected to everything, you also feel responsible for everything, and you cannot turn away. Your destiny is bound with the destinies of others. You must either learn to carry the universe or be crushed by it. You must grow strong enough to love the world, yet empty enough to sit down at the same table with its worst wars. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. We must learn to regard people less in the light of what they do or omit to do, and more in the light of what they suffer. It is easy enough to be friendly to one's friends, but to befriend the one who regards himself as your enemy is the quintessence of true religion. The other is mere business. I find the best way to love someone is not to change them, but instead, help them reveal the greatest version of themselves. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. When we give cheerfully and accept gratefully, everyone is blessed. When I give food to the poor, they call me a saint. When I ask why the poor have no food, they call me a communist. You have not lived today until you have done something for someone who can never repay you. A kind gesture can reach a wound that only compassion can heal. If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. Self-absorption in all its forms kills empathy, let alone compassion. When we focus on ourselves, our world contracts as our problems and preoccupations loom large. But when we focus on others, our world expands. Our own problems drift to the periphery of the mind and so seem smaller, and we increase our capacity for connection or compassionate action. Compassion is not a relationship between the healer and the wounded. It's a relationship between equals. Only when we know our own darkness well can we be present with the darkness of others. Compassion becomes real when we recognize our shared humanity. As long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of lower living beings, he will never know health or peace. For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Indeed, he who sows the seed of murder and pain cannot reap joy and love. If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. The simplest acts of kindness are by far more powerful than 1,000 heads bowing in prayer. That's what I consider true generosity. You give your all, and yet you always feel as if it costs you nothing. Only the development of compassion and understanding for others can bring us the tranquility and happiness we all seek. If a person seems wicked, do not cast him away. Awaken him with your words, elevate him with your deeds, repay his injury with your kindness. Do not cast him away, cast away his wickedness. A truly compassionate attitude toward others does not change even if they behave negatively or hurt you. True compassion is more than flinging a coin to a beggar. It comes to see that an edifice which produces beggars needs restructuring. Rage, whether in reaction to social injustice, or to our leaders' insanity, or to those who threaten or harm us, is a powerful energy that, with diligent practice, can be transformed into fierce compassion. It is only with true love and compassion that we can begin to mend what is broken in the world. It is these two blessed things that can begin to heal all broken hearts. One of the most important things you can do on this earth is to let people know they are not alone. Every life deserves a certain amount of dignity, no matter how poor or damaged the shell that carries it. Good works is giving to the poor and the helpless, but divine works is showing them their worth to the one who matters. Protect your enthusiasm from the negativity and fear of others. Never decide to do nothing just because you can only do little. Do what you can. You would be surprised at what little acts have done for our world. Compassion is an unstable emotion. It needs to be translated into action, or it withers. Compassion is the signature of higher consciousness. Nonviolence is the tool to evolve into the higher consciousness. The heart that gives, gathers. When we know ourselves to be connected to all others, acting compassionately is simply the natural thing to do. The funny thing about the heart is a soft heart is a strong heart, and a hard heart is a weak heart. It is not until you change your identity to match your life blueprint that you will understand what everything in the past never worked. What would you have? Your gentleness shall force, more than your force, move us to gentleness. Walk with me for a while, my friend. You in my shoes, I in yours, and then let us talk.